Hi, this is Janie with Paper Compulsions. I wanted to take a minute to explain how I decorated these heart-shaped boxes. You can use them plain or you can add flowers. Come with the files and instructions to make the box and the flowers or the cut files and templates for the tattered flower and the multi-layered flowers. On these two flowers, I have videos on how to make those, so I'm not going to go into that, but I just used the first 3 layers on this one so I'd have a little bit of smaller flower. And then on the tattered flowers, I turned these up, and this one, I turned the center petals down. For this one, I used red cardstock for the tattered flower and white cardstock for the multi-layered flowers, and just inked those with fired brick. And then I inked my leaves. I used just regular solid color cardstock. I just made this so the glue hasn't dried yet. Black cardstock and red cardstock. I used a black and white decorative paper on this. And then I used a pattern paper on the inside, so that the inside is decorated. For this one, it has a little bit more of a vintage look. I used pink cardstock, cream colored cardstock that I inked, a pattern paper that was a K & Company paper, and then the flourish part was out of cream colored cardstock that I inked. These were cut out of cream colored cardstock, and this was inked with Victorian velvet, and these were tumbled glass. And I used several different greens on my leaves. I don't remember exactly which ones. On this one, I used pink colored cardstock and white cardstock that I inked, and then more K & Company pattern paper. And I used Victorian velvet on the tattered flower and on the edges of the multi-layered flower. And I'm not sure if you can tell on the video, but I have a lot of pearls all along this flourish. Make it really nice. Not sure if you can tell. This part was a detachable card that you can take the card off and read it, and then open the box up. And on this box, I stamped on the inside. You would want to do all of your stamping and inking before you start assembling the box. I don't think I mentioned that on the tutorial. And on the edges, that's white cardstock that I inked. When you're inking the flourishes, they're so delicate that they cut just fine on my cutter, and you have to use a little bit of care when you're taking them off the mat, especially if it's a really sticky mat. But they come out in one piece. But where I ended up breaking several of them is when I was trying to ink them. And so I figured out I can either hold it up in the air. I can either hold it up in the air and do the edges. That wasn't on there good. Like that. Or you can start in the middle and work out. Normally when you're inking, you work off of the paper and then bring your ink onto it. But for these, because they were so delicate and breaking, I would start in the middle and push out, and then start in the middle on this side and push out. Or you could also use stains, or just use your pattern paper. Your colored cardstock. I mentioned that. On this one, I used all cream colored cardstock and just inked the edges. And on this one, I embossed this layer and then used a direct to paper method, where you take the distress ink pad and just rub it over the top, and it picks up the embossed areas. I'll do a tutorial on that and show that. And then on these, I just picked up the flourish and inked the edges to get this look. And on this one, instead of using the flowers that come in the kit, I just used one of my open roses. And I used red cardstock, cream colored cardstock, or actually that was white cardstock that I inked with antique linen. An old Anna Griffin paper that I absolutely love, and it's discontinued now, but when I heard it was being discontinued, I went and bought a whole stack of it, and I only have a couple of pages left of it, so it's just a pattern that I just really like to use with cream and red a lot, and they look good with the roses. And then this I inked with fired brick, and I didn't ink the sides on this one. This is one of my early, actually this was my very first one that I put together, and I hadn't worked out where I overlapped the sides, and so I have the seam right there on one of the most obvious places, but I've worked that out since then, and the seams will meet in the crevices of the box. And I also have a matching card that I'll show how to put that together. You can make it small like this and tuck it in, or you can make it large like this and put it on the top of your box. And then I just had a ribbon holding all that together. So that's it. If you have any questions, you can email me at papercompulsions@gmail.com, or you can go to my blog and see pictures of these around February the 1st. Thank you. Happy crafting.